In this video, I'll tell you all about zombie debt and how to deal with it. And we're starting right now. Hey guys, Elliot here. So zombie debt is debt that you may have owed once, but many years have gone by and the debt has long ago fallen off your credit report and out of your memory. Yet some collections company decides to resurrect and try to collect it from you. And just like a zombie rising from the dead, the debt has come back to haunt you. So what do? Keep watching. I have some very valuable advice that will ensure the debt remains buried underground where it belongs. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe so I could keep on bringing you this one-of-a-kind financial content. Now, first of all, let's acknowledge that a person's zombie debt was once very much alive and current, but for one reason or another, that person was unwilling or unable to pay it off completely or at all. Perhaps they were in bankruptcy at the time, or the debt may have been a result of identity fraud and may not have been theirs in the first place. At that time, the creditors may have tried to get what was owed via various means like letters, collection calls, or possibly even the threat of a lawsuit. That person's credit almost certainly took a hit, and the collector surely may have harassed him or her, but in the end, the debt was written off as uncollectible. Now, this almost always happens with relatively small debts, generally under $10,000. While greater amounts will likely result in aggressive legal action, at $10,000 or less, it makes little sense to hire expensive attorneys to try to recover any of the money, since even if the creditor does win the judgment, there won't be much left after legal fees, so it's generally not worth it. Once the debt has been written off, a few years go by and the statute of limitations sets in. That means that while the debt is still valid, you're not legally required to pay it, and it does take anywhere from 3 to 6 years to get there, depending on the laws of the state you reside in. At this point, of course, you completely forgot about the debt, but a certain type of business did not. You see, the debt never really disappeared, but rather it was just sold off by the original creditor, usually for pennies on the dollar, to a third-party collections agency. These agencies, sometimes referred to as debt scavengers, know the law and know that you aren't required to pay anything, but they are playing a numbers game. Not everyone is aware of the applicable laws, and they only need a few people out of hundreds they will contact every week to repay their debts to be profitable, so it's a good business to be in. The business also attracts a fair number of scammers, but the advice in this video is applicable to them as well. So here's what you do. If you are contacted by a debt collector for a debt that is from years ago, first do some research and figure out if it's really your debt and if it was once valid. This needs to be determined to make sure you are not dealing with scammers. Next, request a debt validation letter. It needs to say how much the debt is, who the original creditor is, and when you signed for that debt. If they refuse to give you that in writing, it's a sure sign of a scam. A real collection agency will have all that information and will willingly share as it's required by law. You do have a choice to make here. If the debt is legit and your financial situation has improved over the years, consider paying it off, but be sure to get all the terms in writing before sending off any money. If, however, the amount is still more than you are able to pay, or the debt is not yours or fraudulent in any other way, do not make any payments. This is an important point, as the statute of limitations and the clock will reset once you made a payment of even 1 penny, and this now opens up a whole new set of options for the collectors to act on. Instead, send them a certified letter with a return receipt request stating that the debt isn't yours and asking them to stop calling you. You can use a sample letter from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or CFPB's website, and they are found at consumerfinance.gov. Remember also that you have extensive rights under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and that includes being able to report the debt collector to the FTC or the Federal Trade Commission if they harass you and call you at all hours of the day and night or are verbally abusive. In general, a good rule of thumb is to not engage with the collectors at all, aside of course from receiving information on the alleged debt, as well as the contact info if you need to send certified letters. Also, do not admit to the debt being yours, as even a verbal agreement on a recorded line can cause you problems down the road. And be your own best advocate. Research the debt, as I suggested earlier, and be sure to know your particular state statutes of limitation laws. If you're in the right and the statutes have expired, the collection agency cannot legally sue you, and if they try, the suit will be thrown out in court. If they know that you know this, the calls will eventually stop, as it won't be worth their time and effort, and they will move on to the next, hopefully easier collection target. Most importantly, do not give in to scare tactics. Any harassment you receive can be prosecuted, as can any physical intimidation, and most debt scavengers will back off if you know your rights and you are sure the law is on your side. They prey mostly on those who are ignorant of this, so if you get contacted about a zombie debt, do your due diligence to protect yourself. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot about this unique type of debt. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.